Next, again, Mr. Marcus Simon representing District 53. So remember to vote for him on November the 5th. Okay, now I'd like to say a few more things about our candidate, Nguyen. Home is a small business owner and also a project management professional. And he is also a public servant. His commitment to public service comes from his extensive experience working in the the non-profit sector, as well as serving in numerous appointed positions on commissions. For example, the commission including the the Fairfax County Consumer Protection Commission, the Virginia Asian Advisory Board, the Governor's Commission on National and Community Service, and those are just some of the commissions he served on. And in 2008, in recognition of his public service, Home received the Fairfax County's Barbara Baran's Volunteer Service Award, and so we're very proud of him for that. So with that, I would like to introduce the man of the hour. Please help me welcome the next delegate for District 67, Nguyen.
Juan, thank you very much. And let's give Juan a round of applause, and let me tell you why. I'm running because Juan, a few years ago, also ran in Maryland. And so we need to get more young Vietnamese Americans and Asian Americans to be running. And so for that, I want to say thank you for Juan to be setting the stage for us out here. And of course, I'm about diversity. That's why we have a Jewish man coming here. But the reason, why, we have to joke, because in politics we have to have a good sense of humor, because these days we have 11 days to election, and so we have to definitely have a good sense of humor. And I want to point out Marcus being here is very important, because we're in the city, in the area of Falls Church, and we have to have great relationship with our elected officials in the area. We have to know who we're going to go to complain about things. So Marcus, stand up to make sure that they're there you go. But also you want to go to the person to compliment for doing good things. So that way you have to have that relationship with our local elected officials. So that's why it's important for Marcus to be here and for us to vote him into office. And also, very importantly to us, many of you know in this area, we have to have a great relationship with our law enforcement. And that's where Captain Stacy Kincaid, soon to be Sheriff Kincaid, is going to make a big difference. Yeah. Because obviously, we all know women have a different perspective than men. Okay? I won't say good or bad, but they do have a different perspective. And it's valuable, because I think, with the Sheriff's Department, we have to have new energy to go in there and basically clean house. She's been a part of it for 26 years. She understands what needs to be done. She knows in and out. She has a relationship and the loyalty of the other folks who work with her. Just like if you're in the military, you have to have a relationship. It's a team effort, especially when there are hard decisions to be made. Everybody knows it's a shared burden. And so even with us in the Asian American community, the Vietnamese community, we have to have that strong relationship with law enforcement, considering what's going on sometimes in our neighborhood. So we just have to have that. And so I strongly support Stacy. Even my little son Thomas calls Stacy whenever he sees anything that has to do with police officers and stuff. He just says, "Miss Stacy, where's Miss Stacy? Where's Miss Stacy?" So that's a good thing. So let's make sure we get Stacy Kincaid and Marcus Simon elected on November the 5th too. And the reason I'm emphasizing them is that even like we're here tonight, when I get elected on November the 5th with all your help, it's a team effort. So it's a team effort for us to get elected, but it's also a team effort for us to move forward in terms of legislating, creating good laws, and making sure that we have honest people in the community who tell us, you know what, that was a very dumb idea. Why did you guys do that? Because we have to have that relationship with our elected officials to honestly tell them that was a dumb idea, or that was a great idea, or that was such a dumb idea, next time this is what you need to do to fix things. Because the reason I'm sharing this is because as a Vietnamese American who came here in 1975 as a young child, many of you know that experience of a người Việt tị nạn cộng sản. We escaped communism and we came here with not a lot of anything. So whether we're Vietnamese or we're Latino or from other immigrant communities, we escaped certain things. And so we know what it means to work hard, to have a good public education, to continue to work hard so that way we can either be doctors, lawyers, business folks, engineers, or teachers or law enforcement folks. And now, I'm running as the first Vietnamese American in Virginia, thanks to the work that Juan's doing that did in Maryland to be the first person to run over there as a Vietnamese American. We all, for State House, we have to make sure that we continue to open doors for our children, to make sure that there's opportunities for our children. If they want to be the President of the United States, they can be the President of the United States. Because we have an African American who's the President of the United States right now. A few years ago, we would have thought that was not possible, but the point being is we have to make sure those opportunities are available to all our children. Regardless of how we came here to America, we're all Americans now. We eat pho, we eat matzo balls, but we're all American, and that's the unique thing about it. And so it's, years ago, people were scared of sushi, they were scared of pho, but now everybody talks about pho. Everybody talks about sushi because it's now part of our community. People are even talking about pupusas, in certain communities, so that way you know what it's all about. And so I'm running to make a change. And I'll be very honest with you, we need money. All our candidates need money. I mean, they'll admit that we all have to ask for money because that's what we have to do, because that's how we pay for things. But at this point in time, too, if you can write a check, great. But here's the other thing that you can honestly do that will help us, is to make sure you go vote. You tell your friends to go vote. You call your friends to go vote. You drag them to go vote, because at the end of the day, it's about the vote. That's the only way we're going to win. So even if we had $1 million, if people don't go vote, we still lose. So at this point, with 11 days to election, go vote. Starting tomorrow in Fairfax County, you can vote in person. If you're going to be traveling on the 5th, you can absentee vote. And for most folks who live in Virginia, who have to work into DC, that's almost like a whole day's worth of driving. So, that's considered an eligible reason to go vote absentee. So just go vote. Drag your friends to go vote. You're going to go eat pho, go eat sushi, go vote first, and then go eat pho and go eat sushi. So go vote. Because, I don't know how else to say it, because the last few days, somebody had a conversation with me earlier tonight, and it was, if I was a normal man, I would have been depressed, but I'm not a normal man. That's why I'm running for office, and so it's about getting things done. And we have a good odds of winning. Some people are reading a lot of endorsements, reading a lot of different things, but you know what? The only thing that matters is whether people go out and vote or not. So it doesn't matter what people write in the press. It doesn't matter what people are saying. It's a matter of whether you believe in us or not. And so let me share with you, some of you who have not met me before, I thank you for coming here tonight, because for me as an immigrant, it's about education. Whether you came here from Vietnam, Mexico, Central America, wherever it is, or Brooklyn, it's about education. Education is the cornerstone of everything that we do. I'm focused on science, technology, engineering, and math, and also healthcare, because with these different industries, our children could be better. We have a great international airport in the area. Where we're at right now, we have Ronald Reagan, but where I live and where I'm running along Route 50 in Stringfellow, in that area, District 67, we have the IAD, Dulles Airport, and we can focus on international trade. We have to focus on that. We have the language skills, whether we Spanish, Vietnamese, Chinese, whatever it is, if we're Korean, we have to focus on the international trade component, because we have to diversify our economy. We all know, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, whatever it is, this recent government shutdown impacted all of us. It didn't just impact the federal government employees, or even contractors. It impacted delis. It impacted dry cleaners, because everybody was losing money, and so everybody was impacted. So we have to make that change. And so education is the key cornerstone for everything that I am focusing on. My opponent, who I'm running against, says education is important to him, but he voted to cut the budget by $620 million. That is shameful. You cannot say you support education and you cut it. So for all of us, we have to make sure our education, that's why we're here today, because education is the cornerstone. The other thing too is very simply transportation, and I've been visiting with a lot of some high school kids, and they asked very honest questions. They said to me, Hunk, what are you going to do about transportation? And I said, so I live on the corner of Stringfellow and Route 50 out in Chantilly. And that's near 28, so if anybody kind of knows that area. So there's two major constructions going on right now. And so the kids asked me, what are you going to do about this? I said, you know what? The first thing I'm going to do is make sure that there's actually somebody working on it. Because you tore up the streets, but nobody's actually on the streets working on it. So how can you fix the roads if nobody's doing anything? There's nobody there. So that's the very first thing we're going to do, is to actually make sure that there's bodies, physical body on the construction site to work on it versus tearing up the yard. So imagine somebody tearing up your yard and then not doing anything about it. They may come by once a month to maybe doing something, but they just tore up your yard. We can't do that. So it's about cleaning house. And very honestly, going down to Richmond is about cleaning house. We're tired of people, Democrats or Republicans, we have to be honest about it. We have to focus on what is right for our people in our community. And so that's where you all come in, is to keep us honest by telling us that's a dumb idea or it's a great idea, and this is what we're going to do to help you. But in order for us to represent and to do that, you need to go out and vote on November the 5th. So anything, tell people to go vote November the 5th. If you have, obviously I want all my friends to get elected with me, and if you know Vietnamese Americans or Koreans or anybody like that in my district, in District 67, tell them to go vote, because that's going to be the margin of victory for all of us. And we have to win this election, because it's about the people and for the people. So thank you tonight for everybody for coming, and make sure you eat up, and if you're done, order a lot of food and take home and share with your families, because if he's donating, you got to order and buy more. Okay. So thank you very much.